welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, and we are going to get straight into it today because it is discussion time following that draw yesterday against Valencia, which on the face of it is not such a bad result. Away at Mestalla, it can be a difficult place to go, but it was the way again that we couldn't quite get that winning goal. It was a reluctance from Valverde on the bench to make a change, and that is the discussion today. It took him 84 minutes in yesterday's game to make that change, and that in itself was bad enough, but it was actually what came after the game which was the biggest shock to me. It wasn't that he didn't make the change and he was so reluctant to do that during the game. He came out afterwards though, and this is what he said. He was asked by a journalist, why did you wait until 84 minutes to make your first sub? And Valverde openly admitted that he wasn't sure what he should change, and that's why he took so long. He genuinely told journalists after yesterday's game that he didn't know what to do. He did not know how to change that game in our favour, and that for me is the coach of Barcelona. That is not good enough. I genuinely could not believe hearing that yesterday from Valverde. This is a man who is literally paid to make these crucial decisions in games to tip the game one way or another. He could have yesterday made that change, been bold, been brave, and tipped it, and we got the win, but he didn't do that. He is unable to find solutions, and this is something that is a massive problem with Valverde's management style. And as we're going to come on to yesterday's game and that reluctance, it was not a one-off. This has happened before with Ernesto Valverde, and what's more, it has happened pretty consistently. And often, when he doesn't make that change, when he fails to react, we end up paying big consequences. Which is why today, it is time to take a detailed look into Valverde's management, and in particular, his failure to find those solutions during these critical moments of big games, which really can define seasons. That game yesterday, we could have gone back to the top of the table, but as it stands, we are currently behind Sevilla in second place. And first of all, guys, what I want to make absolutely clear right now, this is no crisis. We are not a team in crisis right now. We've not got the worst team ever. We've not got the worst players ever. This is not a massive rant video and being all negative, because I was massively impressed, as you all know, with our performance against Tottenham. We were absolutely brilliant at Wembley, and even last night, we largely dominated that game, and on a different day, if we hadn't gone behind so early, we could have easily won there. There's work to be done, but what I'm saying is, this is a good team. We've got good players, and I still believe we can challenge on all fronts this season for all the titles. But I do take issue, really, with some of Valverde's decisions, and in particular, the decisions that he doesn't make. Because last season, all we heard all season long was that Valverde doesn't fully trust his squad because the players aren't good enough. Once he's got good players, then he'll start to use his squad, then he'll start to trust everybody and make these changes. Yet this summer, we went out, we signed 125 million euros worth of talent. We brought in Vidal, we brought in Malcolm. You've got players there who can come in and make an impact off the bench. But still, Valverde doesn't trust these players. He doesn't have any willingness to use them. And what is the excuse now? For me, this is an issue that absolutely has to be addressed, and we are going to do it right here. And to do exactly that, we are going to take a look back at 3 key matches during both last season and also this season, whereby Valverde, for me, he just hasn't had the answers. He could not answer the problem, he could not get the solution, and in the game, it's either cost us or it's very nearly cost us, because there's a running pattern really with Ernesto Valverde's failure to make these changes that comes in sort of 2 different circumstances. Number 1 circumstance, it'll be a game where it could be level pegging, just like yesterday, and instead of being bold and being brave and going in and being decisive and making that change to go on and try to win the game, he'll wait, he'll be conservative, he'll see what happens, he'll let time go by, almost as though he's actually waiting for the players out there, for Messi, for Suarez, to go and score, to go and do something to avoid him having to make that change. He's waiting for somebody else to do something and then he reacts. That's the problem. As a Barcelona coach, you have to be proactive, not reactive. We can't constantly wait for other things to happen before you go and change your game plan. You've got to be there first. You've got to be setting those trends. You have got to be on the front foot and you've got to make the opponents react. That's the whole point of being Barcelona. And then there's number 2 circumstance, where we'll be narrowly ahead in a game, maybe in the second half, when it's clear for everybody at home watching to see from the sidelines that we need some fresh legs. We'll be tiring. We'll be labouring. You can see a clear drop in performance, but Valverde will not make the change. It'll be around 70 minutes, and although we're ahead, we may have lost some control, or the opposition might be growing in confidence, and instead of quickly restoring order, bringing on a calming influence, bringing on somebody who can win back that control, again, he'll just wait and wait and wait, and almost again, we're just hoping we can ride out the storm, that we can cling on, that we can hang on to that result, and anything to avoid having to make that change. And it's not good enough. It is not what you're looking for as a Barcelona coach. You need somebody who is bold and makes these decisions. And so with those scenarios in mind, let's go to those 3 games that I to discuss. And to do that, let's go back to our second match of the season away at Rayo Vallecano, newly promoted Valladolid. We're a goal up after scoring in the 57th minute, but Valladolid at home, they got the crowd behind them, and even despite our goal, they still looked dangerous. They had counter-attacks, they were building their momentum, and you're looking then at the 60 to 70th minute mark, and you're saying, go on then, make a change now. We're ahead in the game, let's get full control of it now, win the ball back, and let's see the game out on our own terms, doing what we do best, having the ball and defending with the ball, not without it. But no, Valverde waits and waits and waits until Valladolid are really on top in the game, massively confident, and now fully believing that they can get that equaliser. And we've simply gifted them that confidence by the failure to do absolutely anything. And then he makes his first sub, 14 minutes from the end of the game, 76 minutes, he finally makes his first sub, and that's after Valladolid have already made 2 of their own. They've already made 2 changes, and they're already in the ascendancy. And when the sub finally comes on, it's a negative one. It's an uninspiring one. He removes the goal scorer Ousmane Dembele for Arturo Vidal, and we go back in our shape, we defend deep, and we invite the pressure. And like I've said before, this lack of action, it can cost us in massively decisive moments, and it nearly did here. Valladolid continued to grow and grow and grow in confidence, and they nearly made their momentum count by scoring in the final seconds. Only luckily for us, VAR saved our skin. And even though the performance on Wednesday against Tottenham was absolutely sensational, you can even look at that game where I think, like I say, we all agree we were brilliant. But even then, midway through the second half, after Messi had given us the 3-1 lead in the 56th minute, we started to tire. Our team clearly started to drop back. You could see clearly there was a dip in pressing, our intensity wasn't there, and it was crystal clear again to anybody watching that we needed some fresh legs. We needed something to change to maintain our advantage in that game. But again, nothing from Valverde, absolutely nothing, and would you know it, Eric Lamela then gets Tottenham back in the game after 66 minutes, and suddenly Tottenham are on the up. Their fans are behind them, they start to believe. It's all about confidence. Football is massively a confidence game. And then there's a spell in the game for Tottenham, about 10-15 minutes, where they really could have equalised. They would have obliterated all of the hard work we'd already done, simply because there was a little drop off there where we needed something new. Arthur was booked, Busquets was booked, Coutinho wasn't getting any joy down the left hand side, Rakitic was tiring, and what does Valverde do? Absolutely nothing again. No change in personnel, no change in shape. Once again, he just stood there on the sidelines or kneeling down on the floor with his fingers crossed, hoping that we could hang on to our lead and somehow pull ourselves through. And then once again, 83 minutes comes around and we finally see the first change. But it's too late. It is too late, and it's just unacceptable to see it happening so many times and far, far too late in games. We can all see the changes need to be made. Why can't Valverde? And I really could, guys, go on and on and on, but you've all seen it. You all know what I'm talking about. We're in games, you can see it playing out, and you can see that something needs to be done. And the only person who can't see it seems to be Ernesto Valverde. But I will leave you with one final game, which, to be honest, at the time, could have been the final straw anyway. Roma against Barça. We come into the game, as you all know, with a 3-goal advantage, and straight away within 6 minutes, we lose a goal. 1-0 down. Okay, no problem. We can bounce back. The first half ends 1-0, and you're thinking, okay, go in at half time, you can change some things, you can move some players around, come out the second half, get our away goal, that should see us through. We come out for the second half, nothing has changed, and then we concede on 58 minutes, Daniele De Rossi, and suddenly we're a goal away from elimination, and the sense of panic among players and fans is growing. We can sense that something is going to happen unless we alter this game. Unless something changes, we are going out. We need to change something. Where is it going to come from? And again, Valverde, nothing. No change whatsoever. Absolutely nothing from him. And again, 81 minutes on the clock before he makes his first change in a game that we were dominated from start to 81 minutes. We were camped in our own half and Valverde did nothing. And who comes on in 81 minutes? Andre Gomez. Not somebody who can get us up the field, Andre Gomez. And bang, it's all over. Manola scores, 82 minutes gone, 1 minute after Gomez came on, and Valverde then decides to bring on Dembele. But it's too late. There's 4 minutes to go. It's too little, too late. We had our chance, and Valverde blew it on the night. And believe me, that one still hurts. And the thing about it is, I really don't hate Ernesto Valverde. I'm just not quite sure whether he has the mentality to really succeed and control this club at the helm as the coach. I'm really not sure that he's got the personality to do it. You need to be a massively strong character to go into that dressing room and fully take command of your players, of your starting 11 and all of your squad, and to use it in the best possible way to take on all the competitions. And that's no criticism. Just because you can't make it at Barcelona, it doesn't make you a bad coach. But is he really set out to be a leader of this team? I'm honestly not sure. Is he somebody who's going to stand up in those big moments and alter games in our favour? I don't know. Is he somebody who can really be brave and change those games from the sidelines? For me, I'm not sure that's Ernesto Valverde. If he were to prove me wrong this season and we win the treble, we win the Champions League, I would be over the moon. But sitting here right now, looking at what we've seen since Valverde came in, it's a constant theme with him that he struggles to make these changes, that he's a reactive coach as opposed to a proactive one. It's not quite enough for me, and I do at this stage. I have to question Valverde, and I have to question whether he really has what it takes. But look guys, like I say, this wasn't a full-on negative video, it's just a qualm that I have right now with Valverde. I still believe in our players. I still believe, of course, any team with Messi always has a chance. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. What did you think about this video? What do you think about what I've said about Valverde? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please let me know your reasoning down in the comments below. I will see you soon. Keep your head up, though. Let's do this. Visca el Barça.